Severus groaned as he studied the Potter brat's latest t-shirt. I love potions class. My teacher is Batman. Potter. The whelp turned toward him, grinning cheekily. Yes, Fessor? Severus winced. Come by my office at 7. We need to discuss your potions grade. Potter's emerald eyes sparkled happily. Sure thing, Fessor. Expelliarmus. Severus cast toward his opponent, hitting Lockhart squarely in the chest and sending him sailing across the platform. Silence ensued for a moment, and then a cacophony of applause erupted through the hall, led by none other than Harry James Potter. That was bloody wicked, Professor Snape! Harry cried enthusiastically. Do it again. Severus smirked at the hopping child. Potter, please restrain your enthusiasm. I'd hate to have to send you to the hospital wing for a calming drought. And 5 points from Gryffindor for your language. Sweet! Can I duel you next? Several gasps rang through the crowded students. Severus's eyes widened at the spawn's audacity. Then he allowed himself a small, evil grin. Certainly. Wicked. I get to duel the Severus Snape. Go me. Severus rolled his eyes. Sometime today, Potter. Severus, I don't think this is a good. Lockhart stammered. Quiet, you overgrown fashion doll. This doesn't concern you. Potter stepped on the stage excitedly, his eyes shining his enthusiasm. I never pegged Potter for such a good actor, Severus mused. They did their formal bows and went through the paces, spun, and selected their stances. Count, Gilderoy, Severus commanded. BB but Severus, Lockhart stuttered. Now, Lockhart, Severus snapped. Very well. 1, 2, 3. Expelliarmus. Harry shouted. Protego. Stupefy. Severus yelled in rapid succession, blocking Potter's disarming charm and stunning him. Potter's small body flew across the platform and skidded several meters. Severus approached the horizontal form. Justice, Severus smirked. Potter blinked stupidly as Severus made a nonverbal spell. Potter's body lifted in the air by the ankle, his robes flipped over the boy's head, exposing well-worn graying undershorts. The Slytherins howled in laughter as Severus dropped Potter in shock. Ouch, Potter complained as he landed awkwardly in a heap. The child stood, red-faced from a mixture of blood rushing to his head and embarrassment. Potter righted himself, his ears red, and stared at the frozen potions master. Potter blinked twice, his facial muscles working. Then quite suddenly, he smiled. That was wicked, Professor. What spells did you use? Severus groaned. Doesn't anything affect this boy? He sighed. The first spell was a basic shielding charm. The second was a stunner. Actually, I'm mildly impressed you remained conscious afterwards. The brat blinked, surprised at the compliment. The third is a spell I'd prefer not to teach you, he sneered. You're enough like your. Severus stopped himself as a flash of an upside-down Potter in moldy undershorts filled his vision. He cleared his throat. Lockhart! He snapped. Huh? Severus rolled his eyes. How eloquent. Perhaps it would be prudent to teach the students how to block unfriendly spells? An excellent suggestion, Professor Snape. Longbottom, how about you and Potter? Severus snorted. Potter may be a dunderhead, but Longbottom is still no match for him. Now Draco. Harry kicked his trunk angrily as he slouched on the bed. It was the worst day he'd ever had in his stay at Hogwarts. Not only had Snape humiliated him in front of the entire dueling club by hanging him upside down, But also half the school believed he was the heir of Slytherin because of the incident with Malfoy's snake. He glared resentfully at all of the Snape memorabilia. But as he thought about it, Snape didn't use the situation to his advantage like he could have. As soon as he saw Harry's shorts, he dropped him immediately. It seemed that Snape was surprised by what he saw. Harry blushed at the memory. His glare softened slightly as he remembered the gift he had snuck on Snape's desk before the dueling club meeting. Harry grinned suddenly. He was finding that he actually enjoyed the Severus Snape fan club. Severus stared at the chocolate frog box warily. He performed all of the spell checks to ensure there were no curses, charms, or hexes. He prodded the box. Limited edition chocolate frog? I didn't know they made such a thing, he scoffed. He flicked his wand and the box opened, causing the frog to leap across the desk. He stared in shock at his own likeness scowling back at him from the chocolate frog card. He turned it over. Severus Tobias Snape. January the 6th, 1960 present. Ex-Death Eater, Potions Master Severus Tobias Snape is perhaps the most fascinating. Famous wizards of the 20th century. He is greasy, snarky, and bizarrely beautiful with his familiar sallow skin and his endearing hook nose. And the reason why he's famous? Because he's so bloody awesome. Harry Potter commented, a perfectly unremarkable child. And president of the Severus Snape Super Cool Fan Club. He's like a world-famous chef, brewing all of those neat and exciting potions. Severus rolled his eyes and snorted. Potter's losing his touch if he thinks this will get to me, he smirked. He slid the frog card to the side of his desk and saw a paper on his desk. After he read the first few lines, he snarled and threw flue powder into his fireplace. Albus! He bellowed.